In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 ways that you can significantly reduce the risk of injuries and potentially accidental death from falling. Hey there, it's Benjamyn Fergusson here. And first, I'd just like to share with you a bit of an alarming thing that I have learned recently. And this is after looking into the World Health Organization's website. It actually shares that accidental injury and death from falling is the second biggest killer of people globally, second only to motor vehicle accidents. And I looked at this and I'm like, holy, why? It doesn't have to be that way, you know? And also this is a topic that's pretty dear to my heart, given that my grandfather passed away from falling related things. He was going through the course of life and he had a big fall later in life in his 80s, and then that sent him on a really sharp decline with his health. He broke his hip, he ended up in a nursing home, and then from there he passed in a matter of months. And I'm not saying any of this to induce any fear, but it really hit home with me, and I started to ask myself, what can I do to contribute to making a change to this stat? Because we can actually do better. We're aging at a rapid rate through the West, and I know after working with people from all different ages, from younger in life all the way through into their twilight years, that we can actually do things right now to dramatically slow down the aging process of the physical body. And I'd like to share with you 3 things that you can start to consider right now to start to improve what's happening in your body and reduce the risk of falling related injury or potentially death. So it's important that you understand that what we're not trying to do is not fall or be afraid of falling or anything like that. Falling is not the problem. It's the rigidity in the body, it's the lack of connection to the body that can then lead to increasing the risk. Because if you fall, you know, like, I'll just give you an example. If the body is rigid, if there's stresses that have built up in the body over the years to cause more rigidity, well then as you fall, like, we kind of go into shock, and then it's just like, oh, and we tense up, and then, oh, maybe your wrist or your hip or your head, and bang, you fall like a tree and you hit hard. You fall a long way and you hit hard. And one of the biggest things is the hip and head related injuries. So this doesn't actually need to happen if the body is much more relaxed as you move through life. So here's the 3 things that you can start to do to start to reverse the rigidity of the body and start to really improve the connection with this wonderful body that you've got. The first thing is you can start to expand your perception of what's happening inside your body. Really, this is all about awareness. This is about building a stronger mind-body connection, becoming aware of why your body is actually feeling stuck. There might be lots of things happening. You might be feeling a bit tense inside and rigid and have injuries that have built up over time and stresses and all sorts of different things happening. And a lot of the time people are confused, I notice, is like, why are these problems happening? And so we need to build awareness together. You actually need to build the awareness, not someone else to try and kind of tell you your problems and diagnose it and all that sort of stuff. You need to have deeper awareness and feeling of your body, so then you actually know why these things are happening. Once you do that, you've got power. Awareness is power. It's your superpower to allow change to occur. So that's the first thing, expanding your perception and your awareness of your body. The second thing that you can do is to start to improve the ease of movement around your whole spinal column. You know, like, your spine's designed to move like a snake, you know, to be relaxed and flexible and to move with ease, to then start to get signals moving between your brain and your body, and like just let all your organs kind of move and all of this sort of stuff. Your spine's amazing, but if it becomes rigid, well, then it starts to kind of move more like a column than this wonderful kind of fluid snake-like structure. So if you understand how to actually improve the ease of movement around your whole spinal column, then if you go to fall, you know, just as an example, like if the spine bends in all different sorts of ways, you notice like, oh, I'm actually much closer to the ground in the event that something happens. So there's just less distance to fall, which dramatically reduces your risk of injuring yourself. The third thing that you can focus on is improving the range of motion around your whole lower body, and particularly your hips, because we get really disconnected from our hips with all the sitting and all of the stuff that we do in today's modern age. So often this area becomes more rigid, over time, we lose stability, we lose mobility, and then we lose that kind of ability to kind of stand up and squat down and just like kind of really be connected to the ground that we stand upon. So improving the capacity of movement, your flexibility and strength through your hips is really, really powerful and important. So if you combine all of these things, well then you dramatically reduce your risk of injury that might happen when you fall.